You're watching Griffon Sports Insider, presented by Spine and Sport Physical Therapy. Now, here are your hosts, Brett Esely and Ryan Menley.
Hello and welcome, Ryan, Brett, GSI. That's this place, and it's the home stretch for Griffon basketball, Brett Esely.
Yeah, we're still here. We haven't changed. Maybe it's more facial here for you, but it is still winter. Like to see it warm up a little bit.
Every day.
Yeah, you don't. 2 regular season games remaining for Missouri Western as the men fight for their postseason lives. Brett Wiberg's team, 10-15 overall, 5-12 in the MIAA, and a win this week secures them the 12th and final spot in next week's conference tournament.
Yeah, they host Central Missouri this Wednesday, and they're at Southwest Baptist this Saturday. Before we look ahead to this week, let's flash back to a 1-1 week last week.
Wednesday, Griffon men trying to kill the Blue Tiger and complete a season sweep of Lincoln. Trez Colbert doing his part, slices through the lane. He had a team high 19 points. Later, Ryan Devers, he had his normal 17 point, 5 rebound, 5 assist kind of night. Griffons have a 31-26 lead at halftime. Second half, Charlie Marquardt punching his time clock, earning his scholarship money. 3-point play, he had 9 points. Griffs by 8. Play of the night, though, right here. Somebody forgot to guard Calvin Ballque. That's an and one. That's nasty. Wes Mitter recreating it from the bench. Doesn't do it justice. Here's another look. Ballque had 18 points, 10 boards. He scored in double figures in the last 4 games as Western completes the series sweep of the Blue Tigers by rolling to an 82-65 victory.
We did play well. The kids played very unselfish basketball. I feel like the kids tried to defend, pretty well. And really played the game in the right way.
It's been a struggle just trying to get a win on the road this year in conference. So I mean, this feels good just getting this first win off our chest. So
when are you going to dunk on somebody for real?
I mean, I've been dunking on people all year long. Like, would you want something better than that?
Saturday, jam-packed field house for Military Appreciation Day and Rivalry Day. The Griffons donning the camo against rival Northwest. All the stars come back for this one. Green Bay Packers running back Michael Hill, Chicago Bears defensive end David Bass, and Max Griffon. One of these is not like the other. Bearcats, the first place team in the MIAA, a complete team. They're very tall. The Griffons are very small. That causes matchup nightmares. Dylan Starzl, one of the best big men in the league. This is why. He had 19 points on 7 of 10 shooting. Deshaun Cooper, one of the best point guards in the league. And this is why. The Bearcats shot a sizzling 67% in the first half to take a 47-33 lead to the locker room. Northwest would push the lead to 18 early second half, but the Griffs trying to fight back. Ryan Devers, he's also one of the best guards in the league. He had 18 points. Later, Calvin Ballque, the lone Missouri Western senior, has played the best basketball of his career in the last month. He scored double figures. 8 of his last 9 games, had a team-high 19.7 rebounds. Griffs would get to within 11, but Northwest pulls away again. Cooper, 2 of his game-high 22 points. Bearcats win their 20th of the season by completing the season sweep of the Griffons, 92-60 the final. But despite the loss, classy move by Western afterward, paying tribute to the members of the Missouri Army National Guard. As far as the game itself, Brett Wiberg's shorthanded squad, just not enough guns to hang with the Bearcats on this day.
I mean, it's more disappointing to me because this is my last time playing these guys in here in a rival game.
I mean, we couldn't guard them inside. Once they started pitching it out, they made their jump shots, and they played a complete game, and we did not.
And joining us now, head coach Brett Wiberg. Brett, 2 regular season games left, and you have a 2-game lead over Pittsburgh State for the final spot in the MIAA tournament. So you do control your own destiny right now. Talk about the week. Central Missouri at home on Wednesday. The Mules 22-4 overall. You lost 81-63 to them in Warrensburg in mid-January. That's another good basketball team at the top of the conference.
They are. They're a good team.
Won 8 in a row.
And they're a very well-balanced team. They're going to be in some ways similar to what we just faced in here the other night, with the fact that they can score inside, particularly with 2 players. Not quite as tall. One's 6'8.5", 6'9". The other one's 6'6", 6'7", young man from Oberlin, but they can both play. And then they're going to start different than they started against us, and they're starting their 2 shooters on the wing. They're starting a little point guard that's pretty good to transfer from Texas Tech. So it'll be a challenge for us. They're a good team. They can score it from, they shoot plenty of threes, and they can make them, but then they also have a pretty good post presence. So You know, I think we've got to figure out how we want to defend that and what we want to do to give ourselves a chance to win.
On Saturday, you're going to go to Southwest Baptist. We beat them back in January in a high-scoring affair, 89-84. But always tough to go to Bolivar. They give up a lot of points, but they're able to score some points. Talk about that matchup and what it's going to take to sweep them.
I think, you know, hopefully we can maybe play a little bit better defense. I think we'll have to go down there and, you know, I think the 2 games next week we need to play a little bit 2 different ways. We need to play probably as slow as we can play on Wednesday, and then play a little faster Saturday.
Slow as you can play, meaning just basically limit possessions. Why take the shot clock down?
Yeah, that's what we need to do Wednesday, and see if we can't limit the times we have to defend them. You know, and then Saturday, probably play a little faster and see if we can't capitalize on some transition buckets and things like that. And so it's you know, both those games are huge games. If we win one, you know, we're in. Obviously, if we win both, that probably maybe even bumps us up a whole another spot. So big games for playoff purposes, and then also you just want to finish the year in the best possible way you can.
Talk about the way Calvin Ballque has played 5 straight games in double figures. I think 8 of the last 9. This is a guy that was in your doghouse early season that didn't see some playing time early on, and now he's probably playing the best basketball of his life.
He is. I'm very proud of Calvin. He's trying to play to the best of his ability a complete game. He's become a pretty good defensive rebounder, and he's getting us a few offensive rebounds as well. But mostly I'm pleased with how he's grown, you know, has allowed me to coach him, and how he's kind of just settled in and comfortable with his teammates and comfortable with what he's doing. And I think he's proud of how he's playing too. And that's big to see him be kind of proud of himself and be able to finish his senior year at least on somewhat of a positive note for him.
Well, you know, another thing I'm proud of, and I know you're proud of, is the gaining popularity of Wiberg's wit. You know what our soup is? It's beef stew. And I'm really excited for these questions because this is our
I'm still trying to figure out why we're talking about soup.
Thank you.
Because
the
the segment is the tantalizing trio, and doesn't that just sound like something you'd go into?
Wit.
Well, it is, but it has evolved from the tantalizing trio, and that just sounds like a 3-course meal, does it not?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes.
Makes perfect sense.
Play the game,
makes
would
perfect
you?
sense. I will play the game, and you know what? You just ask that every week, and we'll just explain it every week. So it still won't make sense.
You know, Brett, this is the late February edition. A lot going on in the world of sports right now, and I'm just curious to know your answers on a few things. Very point blank. The Olympics just ended. Did you know that?
Yes.
Do you know where they were?
I was aware.
Do you know where they were held this year?
Sochi.
If you were to be an Olympian, and I'm sure you've got the build to be, what event would you be in? Winter side?
Winter side.
Yes.
I would be probably
male figure skating.
No. Blaze of Glory. Let's see. I really like
the moguls.
The moguls.
The slalom.
Yeah.
I had him a curling guy.
I don't even know.
Britt Johnson would have loved him as a curling guy, but apparently not.
You know, and some of those in the speed skating kind of cool too.
Yes, it is.
You know.
And Brett, finally, and I'm curious to know your answer here. Did you see the end of the Duke-Syracuse game and Jim Boeheim completely losing it at the end of the game?
I have not seen it, and I've been meaning to YouTube it.
Have you ever had a moment in a game where you have just gone berserk, ballistic, and been tossed?
No, I have not been.
Ripped your coat off?
I have not been kicked out of a game yet.
You have not?
Not been kicked out of a game, but have you gone berserk?
I've been upset a few times. Especially when I was silly or when I was younger.
But you've had one technical this year, and I don't think you really earned that one.
Yeah, and that one I probably, that one wasn't quite
that one you did not earn your money there.
No,
I think Aaron Coombs got that for you, too.
Yeah, he probably did. Yeah, he probably did.
Well, let's not get any technicals, but let's shock the world Wednesday.
Let's try to play better.
That'd be great.
Yes. Okay.
That's Brett Wiberg. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Now David Bass is going to sling him to the ground, his second sack in this football game.
Spinal sport treatment with Fred, his methods are extremely different from anybody I've ever been with because he takes your injury and breaks it down to a T. I came here right after I had my bone spur surgery for my left foot. He broke my body down, so he kind of went in and took it step by step from my hips down to my knees, to my calves, to my ankles, and fixed everything. I recommend Spinal Sport because of Fred. He has a passion for his athletes and getting people back to where they need to be.
Welcome Welcome back. The Griffon women control their own postseason destiny. They sit 11th in the MIAA standings with 2 games to play this week.
Yeah, this was definitely a roller coaster of emotion last week with the lowest of lows and the highest of highs. A rip your heart out loss at Lincoln, followed by a dominating win at Northwest. Wednesday, Jeff City, Missouri, home of Lincoln. Griffin's trying for the season sweep of Nicole Collier's Blue Tigers. This one had it all. Griffin scored just 2 points in the first 9 minutes, but forced 17 first-half turnovers to stay in the game. Quenisha Lockett, the and one. She had 14.7 boards. Western takes a 21-20 lead to the break. This one went back and forth all 40 minutes. 4 minutes to play. Tiffany Abrams, one of her 3 steals. She had a game-high 18 points on 7 of 12 shooting. Griff's up 46-44. Flash forward, under 30 seconds to play. Still a 2-point Western lead. This isn't what you want if you're Western. Lincoln's Quinice Price, the 3-point play. Lincoln up 54-53 with 20 ticks remaining. Rob Edmonson drawing up what he hopes is a final shot. Time ticking away. The give is to Abrams. That's huge. Western with a 1-point lead with 4 seconds on the clock, but you cannot foul. Abrams is whistled for contact. Edmonson can't believe it. Lincoln in the double bonus, so they go to the line with 1.8 seconds remaining. Jennifer Rosado hits the first one for the tie, then swishes the second free throw for the lead. Griffins have one final prayer, but the inbound is bobbled, and that's the ball game. Western suffers its most disheartening and disappointing loss of the season, 56-55 the final. It's only Lincoln's second conference win of the year.
With what's on the line, needing to win, having won a league game on the road, playing the last place team in the league, and you don't play well, but you play well enough that you should win the game up 5 with 2 minutes to go, and don't get it done. It's just hard to find words how disappointing it is.
Saturday, Military Appreciation Day in the Fieldhouse. Griffon women trying to avenge a January loss to Northwest. Revenge was served cold. Northwest had an early 2-0 lead, and then they wouldn't score again for a long, long time. Western would score early and often. Jaquita Deaver, great give to Quenisha Lockett. Lockett had 9.7 boards, part of an 8-0 Griffon run, and they're still running. Alex Saxon dials long distance. It's now a 13-0 Griffon run, and still running. Tiffany Abrams from the same spot, same result. Part of a 25-0 Griffon run. Abrams did the bulk of the work. Western led 32-6 at one point during the first half. Northwest would make a run of its own and close the gap, down 34-20 at halftime. But the Bearcats never figured out how to stop Abrams. The Detroit, Michigan native, 5 of 6 from behind the arc and scored a career-high 25 points on 8 of 10 shooting. Everything going right for the Griffins. Lanisha Lawrence gives her team a 21-point lead late, and what a performance. Western rolls Northwest 68-47 the final. Rob Edmonson, a big hand for the fans to conclude an emotional and electric victory in this rivalry game.
Our kids played, I think, the most complete game we've played all year in front of a great crowd. That's what I want basketball games to be like here all the time. That atmosphere, that crowd, the way our kids fed off of it, that's where we want this program to get back to. And so a moment of joy today, we're going to take it.
Yeah, I think the crowd kind of helped boost us up. You can't lose in front of a big crowd. We came out ready. We know this was the rivalry team, so we came out ready to be on top. They already got us once, so we like, y'all not about to get us again.
And joining us now, Rob Edmonson. Tiffany Abrams summed it up, and what a week she had. 43 points in 2 games. That was your go-to person.
Yeah, she's had a great last 4 or 5 games, really been building into not only our offensive weapon, but confidence in shooting the ball and being aggressive, but we're also putting her on the other team's best offensive player. So she's carrying some heavy load right now because she's guarding well and also giving us that offensive lift that we've needed for a long time. But I was really excited for her because, just coming off the Lincoln game and how that game turned out. And it was just unfortunate the way the game ended. She played a great game in that game too. So to be able to step right back on the floor and carry that level of confidence and not let that last loss affect her, I think says a lot about her character.
Well, Rob, the grind of the MIAA schedule is down to 2 regular season games, 1 at home, 1 on the road. And interesting matchups this week. We see a Central Missouri team in here on Wednesday, and this is one that over the course of the first 3 times you've played them here has been a good matchup for us. And then Saturday you go take on a Southwest Baptist team that we have beaten once already. Just talk about the week that lies ahead.
Well, it's an important week. We'd like to be in control of our own destiny. I think we get one of those 2 games.
Gotta win one, and we're in.
We're in for sure. You don't have to sit there and go, okay, they need to lose. lose, and this person needs to do this. So, you know, again, Central has been a team that our kids have had no fear of playing. They've stepped on the floor and competed with.
A 6-point game last couple weeks ago in mid-January. It was a 70.
First time you'll get them here, too.
Yeah, first time we played them here. It's always been on neutral floor at their place, and so. You know, I expect our kids will come out with a lot of energy. You know, hopefully we'll feed off of what we just did with the Northwest game, but I really expect our kids to put forth a good effort, and hopefully we can pull an upset. You know, and you know, great moments come from great opportunity, and there's an opportunity Wednesday to upset someone, and that's obviously in the NCAA tournament probably already. They're already secured a bye in the first round of the MIAA tournament, so if not now, why not?
Saturday, Southwest Baptist, you have to go there. You guys completely identical records coming into the week, both 10-14 and 5-12 in the conference play. You beat them by 10 at home in January. But I hate to
yeah, we had one on the road.
Yeah,
I know where you're going.
Yeah.
Bring that up again.
One game on the road. So just how big would that be just to go and finish strong like that? Because you're going to have to go on the road on Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah, and I think that is a great point that we're going to have to win on the road at some point, and so we might as well, you know, get one so that our kids know, okay, we've done it. You'd rather not go on your first road win in the tournament and play on the road, which we know we're probably going to do, and all of a sudden go, okay, we haven't even done this before. So it's always great when you can have some experience to feed off of. So, but I think our kids are in a good frame of mind. Like I said, we're down. The grind is grinded. We're grinded, and now you're down to the last part of the season, and it's just who can summon up some energy and try to play as close to perfect as you can.
Rob, senior night Wednesday, and I guess your second senior class, but really the first that I believe you brought all these in. Just reflect on your seniors that we'll recognize in the field house on Wednesday night.
Well, you know, it's a big class, and it's a junior college transfer heavy class. You know, it's the class that we brought in to try to infuse some talent in that first year and get a big jump and try to get the program going the right direction. So by nature, you know, hopefully you won't be having 6 or 7 kids in a class that graduate all at the same time, but with those being junior college transfer kids, and those kids that all at some point here have done some things and had a good role in helping us win some games and help our program become a little more competitive than it was. So, you know, hopefully they'll take pride in knowing that down the road when we get this where we really want it, that they can say, well, I was one of the ones that kind of helped start them down that path.
Another thing that I know you take pride in is Esely's impromptu, and I must ask you a question.
Okay.
We're upon it again, and you know what? With the temperatures last week, I kind of saw spring. So the spring mix is our salad.
Great.
With a nice balsamic vinaigrette or a raspberry vinaigrette, or you can mix those if you'd like to, whichever you'd like to do.
None.
Neither do I.
You don't need salad either.
No salad.
Not even before your steak. I eat it for the dressing and the croutons and the cheese.
I eat soup before my steak.
Soup. He's a soup. Okay, I guess I'll cross that off my list of questions for the future. Super salad. I know. This is the.
Wasted 2 minutes of just bantering about salads.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
Just salad.
And it's still going.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm sorry.
This is the Olympic edition, Rob. Did you know that the Sochi Olympics is now wrapped up, or did you even know they started?
Oh my gosh, it's over.
It's over.
Well, this is the Olympic edition. So
I did hear that we didn't win the medal count. Is that true?
That's true. Russia beat the U.S.
Here's my 3 Olympic questions for you. Do you know who won the gold in hockey?
Well, Canada.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Canada. Well, I was getting ready to say Sweden because you know what movie I watched last night?
What did you see last night?
Miracle.
Oh, I love that movie. One of my favorites.
And
Last time the U.S. won the gold in hockey, by the way, in 1980.
Yeah, because we beat Sweden.
Yeah,
okay.
But okay.
Secondly, and you mentioned medal
Yeah,
count. Do you know what country ended up winning the medal count?
Yeah, Russia.
Russia did. Do you think that was fixed? I mean,
Probably.
the
Well, I
Olympics
don't think
were
there's
in Russia.
any doubt.
Definitely fixed.
The ice skater.
Yeah, that was.
Give me a break.
Yeah, that was. I thought she skated well. Artistic impression was pretty good, but you know,
That
Unicum,
comment actually
pretty good.
just proves that I watched 0 seconds of the Olympics
And
this year. I have
finally,
no idea.
Rob,
I catch ice skating.
I'm going to really put you to the test. You know, one of the defining moments of these games, the U.S. did beat Russia in a shootout. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Do you know which U.S. hockey player scored the winning goal in the shootout?
I know that one.
I even know what team he plays for now,
Stavlovsky.
too.
TJ Oshie, St. Louis
Yes.
Blues. You shouldn't know.
Well, he's from that side of the state, and I just paid attention
I'll
to
be
hockey.
honest
and
with
so
you, I
I
don't
knew that.
understand
You actually
hockey.
answered those very well.
Thank you.
I don't understand hockey.
I don't understand
I
hockey.
don't understand your logic for anything
Yeah.
ever. Did your wife
I don't
get mad
like
at you
salad.
last week?
No.
No?
No, because I was able to preempt the anger. Possibly.
Or you just accidentally cut away from that segment and then went back to the show
No,
and
because
completely missed
she
it.
couldn't remember our first date either.
Okay.
So I left out.
Very memorable time, obviously.
That's actually
so.
disappointing. I was hoping you wouldn't be back this week because you would have been.
You were hoping to see suitcases on the front?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for that support.
But good luck this week on the basketball court. I want you to do well.
We will.
You betcha.
We will. Thank you.
Sometimes I wonder if Elvis had hip pain. if he did, I know I could have fixed it. And if I did, he'd still be alive today.
Talking football now, Reggie Jordan put his skills on display last weekend in Indianapolis at the NFL Scouting Combine. The former Griffon tight end is projected as a long shot draft pick, but he definitely helped his cause in testing. The 6'2", 240-pounder ran a 4.53 in the 40-yard dash. That's a pretty good time. The NFL draft is in early May this year. Jordan trying to become the 4th Missouri Western grad on an active roster. He hopes to join Greg Zuerlein, David Bass, and Michael Hill in the league. And welcome back. History made on the diamond last weekend. Missouri Western baseball actually played a scheduled home opener. That's a really rare
I would have lost a lot of money there, but it did. It cleared up and was a nice day at the ballpark. Good crowds out there and a great start for the Griffs. The defending MIAA champs are a perfect 4-0 in the MIAA after a series sweep of Northeastern State.
Friday, a picturesque February day for an MIAA home opener. Griffon baseball taking the field against Northeastern State of Oklahoma and wasting no time getting the bats going. Trevor LaHonta, that's a good way to start the game. How about a leadoff triple out of the gate? LaHonta 3 for 4 with a home run in game 1. Next batter, Jimmy Monty. That's an RBI double. Griffin score 4 runs in the first inning, and that's good pad for pitcher Tyler Sanders. The California native entered the season as the Griffins' closer, had struggled early in that role, but found his footing as a starter Friday. Sanders fanned 5, walked 0, and allowed just 1 earned run in 7 complete innings as the Griffins take game 1, 6-4 the final. Game 2, Buzz Verduzco, calm, cool, and collected. Maybe it had something to do with that 10-run inning the Griffins had in the first. Everything else just gravy from there. Center fielder Ryan Degner, the star of Game 2. He went 4 for 4 with 6 RBI as the Griffins complete the doubleheader sweep with a 14-6 victory. Now the dog days of February, Missouri Western baseball back on the home diamond on doubleheader Saturday, looking to complete an opening series sweep of Northeastern State of Oklahoma. It took extra innings to complete the task. Game 1 was scheduled for 7. It went 11 instead. St. Joseph native Will Carter, the hero in Game 1. He smacked a game-tying double in the 8th, and then he won it in the bottom of the 11th with a 2-out walk-off solo homer. Griffins would take Game 1, 6-5 the final. Game 2 went the scheduled 7. Sophomore Dylan Rhodes tossed 5 scoreless innings in his first career start for the Griffins as they take Game 2, 6-2. Western completes the 4-game sweep of the Riverhawks, and the defending MIAA Conference champions are off to a perfect 4-0 start in league play. They're 6-3 overall. It's a great weekend for a team that had struggled to find its footing in the early season.
It's important to earn the respect of your coaches and really learn who you are as a team. And I think today, you know, we learned a lot about ourselves.
I think us being able to hit the ball and be a really good short ball base hit threat, 1 through 6 or 7, is helping us a lot. That's keeping us competitive.
Well, the Griffins are back in action this weekend with a 4-game series at Northwest. Weather permitting and a high of 19 on Friday. That's when the series is supposed to begin.
19 degrees, great baseball weather. I know everybody's looking forward to that, seeing it, playing it.
That's why you grew your beard out longer.
Absolutely. Well, after going north last weekend in the cold weather, Griffin softball is south this weekend. Probably still cold weather. 4 games at the Missouri Southern Tournament. Again, weather permitting with that high of teens. Jen Bagley Trotter's crew is 10-4 overall. They went 3-1 in the Kelly Loss Invite in St. Cloud, Minnesota last weekend. Pitcher Jackie Bishop continues to be her normal Jackie Bishop type of self. She's 8-2 in the circle this season with a 0.76 ERA. Offensively, Tiffany Gillespie has the hot bat. She's hitting .429 with 3 home runs this season. Griffins look good so far. And you know what? Maybe it has something to do with their training regimen.
In an effort to just kind of get some exposure to some different things, I asked the Army National Guard to come in and do a section they do with leadership training with softball teams.
No, it is definitely not what I expected out of practice today.
Are you afraid they're going to kill your kids with basic training?
No, they assured me they wouldn't.
A few things in here are basically pulled directly from the military. First station is just about an 18-inch piece of PVC pipe that has tape on each end. They are given a ping pong ball that has to pass pass through every piece of pipe and be dropped into a milk crate without them touching the ball or the ends of the pipes.
Have you ever seen anybody blow on a PVC pipe to get the ball?
I have not. That's the first time I've seen it. The next one is a large rectangle and bungee cords are pulled across of it, and there's holes everywhere. Once they pass through a hole, that hole is closed, and they have to get everybody from one side to the next. The next one, they had to move 10 yards, standing on 2x4s, walking together, doing left, right, moving together as a team. And then this last one basically is like a bridge. They have 2 pieces of 2x8s that are approximately about 10 foot a piece or so, and then there's like a 12 to a 15-foot gap that they have to get across. So they have to come up with good ideas. They have to use their heads, figure out fulcrums, leverages, so on and so forth, and someone has to take charge and work their way through it.
It was very interesting, and it's a lot more difficult than it looked, but it makes you really talk and communicate things through. So
hopefully some leadership will come out of this, hopefully just some team building, and you start to hear some other voices step forward, and just having them problem solve together. I think it's a good team exercise.
Bone connected to you, knee bone connected to you, thigh bone down here, the foot of the Lord.
It's all connected.
Connected to you, hip bone, your hip bone connected to you, backbone, your backbone connected to you, shoulder bone down here, the foot of the Lord.
All right, we're here with Train Like the Pros with a pro. This is Grant Fink from the Cleveland Indian organization. We're talking about baseball injury prevention. You know, baseball players have a pattern. They overhead throw, they rotate one direction. So it's not uncommon for baseball players to get injured because they're too patterned. The pattern is not the problem. Balancing it is what we got to do to create a more symmetrical athlete. Grant's going to demonstrate a test that we have here to help us identify patterns to help prevent injuries. This is an intense test because it makes the shoulder strength connect to the core in this plank positioning. So he's got to stabilize that while he then slides the indicator bar out as far as he can. He goes in 3 dimensions, rotating his core while his shoulder has to stabilize all that. Great job. So we would look at these measurements. We would look at the length of those measurements, write those numbers down, and now we're looking for symmetry when he goes to the other side. So now he slides around, and instead of his right shoulder having to stabilize his core, now we're looking at his left shoulder. Same test where he slides each indicator bar out, goes as far as he can. A lot of strength, a lot of stability here through his shoulder indicates how well is that shoulder connecting to the core. We take these measurements, we compare them side to side. We want to see some symmetry, because if we're not symmetrical in our ability to stabilize the core, injuries can happen. That's what we want to prevent, especially when you're in the pros. You don't have time to get injured. Train like the pros at Spine and Sport.
Nice February day for a season tennis opener as the Coach Tom Smith era begins again.
And the bad part is you can't yell at the referees.
The longtime basketball coach taking a different court as his team opens 2014 against an undefeated Maryville University squad out of St. Louis. The Griffons lost 8-0, but they were competitive in early matches, and that's something the new coach is keying on in the early season.
But what I expect more than anything else is for us to be a little more competitive, I think, all the way down the line.
Oh, Griffon tennis back in action this Friday, 11 a.m. against Rockhurst. That's indoors, so no weather to play.
19 degrees, 19 below zero, doesn't matter. And then, of course, Wednesday, indoors
Also
doesn't matter either.
Basketball.
Hard to believe. Final home basketball games, and they'll be good ones. Central Missouri comes to town, 5:30 women, 7:30 on the men's side, and senior night will honor the 6 women's basketball seniors, and then the men's basketball seniors part of tip of the men's game.
That's GSI for this week. I really feel like we're missing something.
I think you nailed it all in. Well, he's suspended. We finally got him suspended. I don't think he's going to crawl from underneath the desk and tackle either one of us.
He ran into the door last week and
is he still down on the beak?
Out. Yeah, I don't know.
He's still down on the beak.
He's not on the ground anymore, but I think he broke his beak.
Does his lawsuit cover plastic surgery for that as well?
Hopefully, maybe he just learned his lesson and it won't be a lawsuit.
Well, let's hope not.
I really feel like he's going to pop out. But I guess not.
I'm braced, but I guess not. You'll just have to stay tuned.
A little disappointed
and wear your gold this week. We've seen the field house, and as always, go Griffs.
Go Griffs. I hope he's okay.